Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. I will call the fifth regular Common Council meeting to order. Will the clerk please state the quote of the day?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Action is the foundational key to all success.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderperson Ackley.
Here.
Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Feldy.
Here.
Alderperson Fulicki-Pineski.
Here.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Here.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Here.
Alderperson Perella.
Excused?
Alderperson Ramey.
Here.
Alderperson Rust.
Present.
Alderperson Salazar.
Excused.
There are 8 present.
Thank you. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Alder Decker, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the minutes from the fourth regular council meeting held on May 15th, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Minutes are approved. Next, item number 4, City Attorney.
Item number 4 is a resignation. Natasha L. Torrey resigning as the Sheboygan Area Municipal Judge effective July 31, 2023.
I move to accept and file.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of accepting state aye.
Aye.
Any objection? That's accepted. Next, number 5, resignations. City Attorney.
Resignations: Carolyn Miesfeld from the Mayor's International Committee effective immediately, and Karen Kober from the Senior Services Commission also effective immediately.
Alder Decker.
I move to accept and file.
Second.
Sorry. All those in favor of accepting and filing, please state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? All right, that is accepted and filed. Next, confirmation of mayoral appointment. City Attorney.
One confirmation of a mayoral appointment, and that is appointing Jeannie Pfeiffer as the Sheboygan Area School District trustee to the Meade Public Library Board.
Thank you. Alder Decker.
I move to confirm.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, this is a roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
All right, that is approved. Anyone for public forum this evening, City Clerk?
No one this evening.
All right. All right, we'll begin with a presentation from the fire department on the Lucas device. Chief, do you want to tee us up?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So with me are our Station 1 crew and AC Mike Lubert. I'm going to turn it over to him to explain a little bit about a grant that council approved for us and what we purchased with it.
All right.
I'm gonna hand the phone off because I'm on the show.
Oh, okay. Because you know if you don't do that.
I know if I don't do
yes,
that, the phone's gonna ring for sure, right? So, so thanks for your time. We just wanted to take the time to thank the council and show you what you spent your money on. So with me, I have the Station 1 crew. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Assistant Chief Mike Lubert. I have FEO Trevor Sager, firefighter paramedic Lewis Nett with me, Lieutenant Steven Zebel, and firefighter paramedic Josh Hittman. We're gonna bring this up. So in 21, we applied for a FEMA Assistance to Firefighters grant for an automated CPR device. They're called Lund University Cardiopulmonary Assist devices. They're known as Lucas's. They're their 3rd generation. This is something we've really looked at for a long time for our department. They were expensive. The city of Sheboygan, the grant was for $87,045, and then the council, which is everybody here, was nice enough to support that grant, and the city added just under $15,000 to it. We've taken a lot of time and effort into our cardiac arrest survival rates within the city, and we put a lot of effort and training into it, and we felt that this was just something that was going to help us, improve those cardiac arrest survival rates and provide a high quality service to the citizens and the visitors of Sheboygan. So why is it important? So when we do CPR on a cardiac arrest patient, the biggest thing is really to do continuous compressions and stop the least amount of times that we can. So one thing we've done is we've added more people to cardiac arrest calls. We would get 6 people there. That way we're always changing out compressions every 2 minutes and we're not stopping CPR. But sometimes there's just instances like where we can't do that. So if we're trying to move somebody out of a house, you know, it's hard to do high quality CPR where we're carrying somebody through the house. If we're in the back of the ambulance, if you're having a heart attack and you have to go to Grafton, which is the closest cardiac catheterization center to the city of Sheboygan, that's a 30-minute drive, and if we get stuck there in the back of our ambulance, we only have 2, maybe 3 guys to do CPR, and it's just not the good high-quality CPR that this device can do while we're driving down the road. So this device allows us to always have continuous compressions. They're always exactly the same. We can pick up the patient and move them while the compressions are still going on, and if we're driving down the highway to Grafton, to the cardiac cath lab, we just put this on and it'll do compressions for us. So it's one of these things that we feel is really gonna make a difference. So we put them on our fire trucks. So we got 5 of them with the grant. We put each one on a fire apparatus. That way they arrive there as quickly as possible. When the crews come in, they put it on right away, and then we work our cardiac arrest just like normally with these continuous compressions. The other nice thing is that when we provide a shock to the patient, we try to shock their heart into a normal rhythm. A lot of times we have to stop and wait for our devices to charge. With this, we can keep doing those compressions, and then we charge up our defibrillator and are able to shock that patient. So it's like we're always priming the pump, and hopefully we have a better outcome. When we put this on our fire trucks on May 5th, we put them on a Friday. We had used it 4 times already over that whole weekend, so it's been really very good, very well received by the crews. We had one patient walk out neurally intact out of the hospital right after we used it. It was at one of the local restaurants. We brought it in, we revived the patient on our way down to the cath lab, which is where we want to take these patients because that's where they get the best care. The patient went into cardiac arrest again, and our crews were able to restart this machine and provide high quality CPR, and this patient was able to walk out of the hospital nearly intact. So I think that just goes to show that this was a well worth investment for the city of Sheboygan, and I think we're going to get a lot of long-term use out of it, and it's going to really help our EMS. So one of the things is these guys are just going to come up here, and they just going to we have a mannequin, we're going to put it up here so you can kind of see how it works and everything like that. So just to get a little bit of a feel, and I'll explain through it of what you spent your money on. So if you guys want to come on up. So it'll be a little difficult because they're on the table, so you want to turn around. So normally when they walk in, the patient would be on the floor, they'll start doing compressions. I mean, we've worked through this. The crews will open up their Lucas device here. And then they'll work together. We get put the backboard on the back here. We keep doing compressions in between. And then once they start the device up, then it's just nonstop CPR, which is fantastic. So now it brings a lot of calmness to our scenes as well, so we can focus on other things, focus on breathing for the patient, getting our IVs started, delivering medications, and they're always getting high quality chest compressions. So that's the device there. We have 5 of them. We've used them multiple times already, and we've had very good outcomes from them. So on behalf of the Sheboygan Fire Department, we'd like to thank you for investing in this for us. I think it's going to be used a lot, and it's so far good outcomes. So thank you so much.
Thank you, AC Lubert, I appreciate
If you have
that.
any questions, I can certainly answer them
Yeah,
too before.
questions from council members? All right, sounds good. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and giving us this presentation. It's awesome to see investments that we are making here in the city are paying off and benefiting and keeping our city safer as we go along. So I commend our fire department and all the awesome work that they're doing. Chief, any other comments?
Thank you for your support.
Yep, thank you
All
all
right.
very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
everyone. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. All All right, well, we're going to start off with a staff recognition this evening. Dana Voss. Dana, you want to come on over? Jordan, too? David? You want to come up? Oh, come on over. So this past couple weeks ago now, Dana Voss, who works as the lab technician in our wastewater plant, has been recognized as one of the official 2023 Wisconsin DNR Registered Laboratory of the Year for her hard work and dedication in keeping a high quality team and organization in check down at wastewater. Now, when we flush our toilets or let out the bath water, we don't really think about where that all goes and what is all, or Jordan does all the time, but it's something that we don't necessarily think about, but it's everyday folks down at the wastewater treatment plant with Dana's work, Jordan, who is the superintendent for wastewater, and obviously DPW Director Biebel. So having a well-operated and maintained lab, make sure that we're in compliance with the state DNR, and making sure all the processes that we're doing to clean our water and get ahead of any issues is essential to have a great lab that is functioning. So Dana, just the other month, was recognized at the Natural Resources Board meeting in Madison to receive this award with Secretary Designee Adam Payne, as well as the DNR Public Affairs Section Manager Dana Fulton Porter, who were here also just the other week to pay recognition to Dana and her great work and all of wastewater's work down at DPW. So without further ado, I just wanted to present an employee certificate of recognition for being named the DNR Lab of the Year at Dana Voss and the operators team down at the DPW Sheboygan Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant. So Dana, congratulations once again. Okay, sounds good.
If we would have known it's demonstration, then we would have brought some.
You brought some wastewater. Yeah, I know. We'll do it next time. So it is, we'll do a quick proclamation as well. It is June, and that means June is LGBTQ Pride Month across not only the nation, but also the world. Especially in this day and age in 2023, LGBTQ rights are still under attack across our country, and it is our duty as elected officials to make sure that we ensure that we are striving for a welcoming, inclusive community so that we can grow and become more prosperous as well. So whereas Sheboygan is a community that welcomes all diverse cultures, races, genders, and sexual identities, whereas the city of Sheboygan and its citizens are committed to working together towards peace and understanding, whereas various advancements in existing and respecting equal rights and protections for all citizens throughout Wisconsin and the United States, and where everybody should be able to live with dignity and respect throughout Sheboygan without having to live in fear or prejudice, and whereas June is celebrated as LGBTQ Pride Month nationwide, now I here, Ryan Sorensen, by virtue of vested in the authority of me as the mayor of Sheboygan, do hereby proclaim this month, June, as LGBTQ Pride Month across the city. Thank you. More signatures. Thank you. All right. We'll jump into the consent agenda. Items 11 through 17. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive and file all ROs, receive all RCs, and adopt all resolutions and ordinances.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion on any items on the consent agenda? Seeing none? Oh, excuse me, Alder Flicky-Pineski.
Thank you. I was looking at the no parking zone, item number 16 on South 12th. Is that a permanent thing, or is that because south of Indiana, we're redoing Indiana eventually?
City engineer?
No, that will be a permanent ordinance.
Okay, right now, there's parking on both sides and you're just taking it to one side, or no, nothing at all?
No, just a small section of that section of 12th Street, we're gonna have no parking. There's issues with cars parking pretty close to the residences', driveways.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, any other discussion on the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
Those items are approved. Reports of officers 18 through 23 will be referred to their respective committees. Jump into resolutions. Alder Decker, item number 24, by Alderpersons Decker and Salazar, authorizing the appropriate city officials to authorize payment of the Sheboygan Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection for provisions of weights and measures inspection services. Alder Decker,
I ask to suspend.
is there any objection to suspension? Seeing no objections, please proceed.
I move to adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the item? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That item is approved. Item 25, by Alderpersons Decker, amending the boundaries of the James Madison Neighborhood Association and renaming it as the James Madison Veterans Park Neighborhood Association. That item will lay over. Items 26 and 27 and 28 will be referred to their respective committees. Now, RC, we'll do reports of committees. RC number 14, 23, 24, by the Finance and Personnel Committee, to whom was referred Resolution 9-23-24 by Alderpersons Decker and Salazar, authorizing a budget amendment and establishing an internship budget in the mayor's office. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That item is approved. Next, item 30, RC number 15, 23, 24 by the Finance and Personnel Committee, to whom was referred direct referral resolution number 11, 23, 24 by Alderpersons Mitchell and Flicky-Pineski, authorizing the appropriate city officials to enter into a redevelopment agreement with Partners for Community Development for the rehabilitation of 14 residential buildings for low-income housing, and authorizing the finance director to issue the $200,000 payment for Partners for Community Development to assist in the rehabilitation efforts. Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive the RC and adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? I'll just make a quick comment. I just want to give a shout out and applause to our attorney's office, folks in building inspection, and our finance department. This was a large project that we've been working on for quite a few years, right, Chuck? Yeah, so it's at least 6 years. So this is a big win for the community, cleaning up the neighborhood and making sure that we can afford, have more affordable housing throughout the community. So another big win for the city. So with that, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That item is approved. Next, RC number 16, 23, 24 by the Finance and Personnel Committee, to whom was referred direct referral resolution number 12, 23, 24 by Alderpersons Mitchell and Flicky-Pineski, supporting the waiver of certain judgment liens, filed on behalf of the city against properties owned by William Sukawati. Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive the IRC and adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on this item. Seeing none, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That's approved. 32, RC number 172324 by the Finance and Personnel Committee, to whom was referred direct referral resolution number 132324 by Alderpersons Mitchell and Flicky-Pineski, authorizing an adjustment to the 2023 budget to fund a KM International Asphalt Hotbox Reclaimer. Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive the IRC and adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That's approved. Next, 33, RC number 182324 by the Licensing Hearings and Public Safety Committee, to whom was referred General Ordinance number 3-23-24 by Alders Salazar and Feldy, adopting and enacting and republishing the code for the Code of Ordinances of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, providing a penalty for the violation thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing when such code and this ordinance shall be in effect. Alder Feldy.
I move to approve.
Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Discussion. Alder Flicky-Pineski.
Thank you. I would like the city attorney to say all of that in English, please.
I think it is in English, just
Well,
less
it's
legal,
just
yeah.
Less legal.
So you're adopting it, which means you're basically saying this is our code. You're enacting it, meaning that it's going into effect. You're republishing it, which means that we're actually going to publish it as a new code. You're providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included, meaning that if something was in the old code and it's not in the new code, it's repealed, it's gone. Providing a penalty for the violation, we have to include in our resolution that where there are penalties, there are penalties. So it just provides that there are penalties for certain violations. Providing for the manner of amending such code. So what the resolution does is continues that you can amend the code by having a vote of the common council to amend the code. It just resets that forth. And then providing when such code in this ordinance shall become effective, that's as of publication. So that, and this may be a couple years down the line yet, but it's one of my goals to get this done, is to actually take all of our, all the schedules for costs and those kinds of things and move them out of the code and move them into a fee schedule that will also be separate online, so it'll be much easier to find those things. So,
Thank you.
yes, step one of
Thank
a
you.
long year process is done.
Thank you. Yay.
Step one of the long process.
Yeah.
Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a lot of questions about this, far more than I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to ask. I appreciate the general explanation. There was, I guess, just one part that caught my ear, that anything that is not included in the attached revised code is going to be repealed. Is that only items that fell under that? I think it was section 2 in the ordinance, ordinances that had not been codified aren't in it, or are there actual material changes to?
Right. There are not significantly material changes. For the most part, where something is being repealed as a result of this, it is where it is an ordinance that no longer connects to anything. You know, it's an ordinance that was sitting out there, but it was meaningless. In a couple of cases, we had to make some changes to ordinances to bring them up to state statutes, to bring them up to snuff, and that meant sort of rewriting a few things, and so we're eliminating those things that were eliminated by doing that. But in essence, there's really nothing substantive happening here other than a rewrite.
Consider me slightly more comfortable, but I appreciate the answer.
Any other questions?
I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no one else queued up, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That item is approved. Next, item 34, RC number 192324 by the Licensing Hearing and Public Safety Committee, to whom was referred to direct referral resolution number 102324 by Alderperson Salazar and Feldy, establishing a joint municipal court advisory committee to identify qualified candidates for interim appointment as the Sheboygan Area Municipal Court Judge. Alder Feldy.
I move to approve.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on this item. Seeing no one queued up, roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
All right, that item is approved. Next, we'll jump into general ordinances. Item 35, general ordinance number 52324 by Alderpersons Decker and Rust, repealing various ordinances so as to remove the one-way street designations for South 19th Street, South 20th Street, South 21st Street, South 22nd Street, South 23rd Street, and South 24th Street between Indiana and Georgia Avenue, removing parking on the west side of South 19th Street, South 20th Street, South 21st Street, South 22nd Street, and South 24th Street between Indiana Avenue and Georgia Avenue, and removing parking on the east side of 23rd Street between Indiana Avenue and Georgia Avenue. Got that, Alder Decker?
Yes. I ask to suspend the rules.
Any objection to suspension? Any objections? Seeing none, please proceed with your motion.
I move to adopt the ordinance.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the item? Alder Flicky-Pineski.
Thank you. Once again, is this a permanent thing, and what was the rationale? And that's a whole bunch of streets.
City engineer?
No, this is not a permanent thing. When we, starting next Monday, June 12th, Indiana Avenue is going to be reconstructed. In order for the neighborhood traffic to flow better, we're going to temporarily take those side streets and make them go from one-way to two-way, just until this job is completed in October sometime. Then it'll go back to one-way, a one-way street designation again.
So they're going to have room with cars parked on both sides still to go?
No, what we'll do is we'll remove parking on one side of the street, so then we can have the two-way traffic.
Okay.
There'll still be parking, but just on one side. We did the same thing last year when we did the other section of Indiana Avenue, and it worked out really well.
Okay, thank you.
Alder Feldy?
Those are very narrow streets. I grew up on the south side. And my concern is that there's not going to be enough room if people are parked on both sides or even on one side and it's two-way traffic. Is this going to be a trial basis or is this going to be permanent?
Oh, I can answer that too a little bit, just as a.
City engineer?
No, this will just be temporarily until construction's completed. And the road is wide enough to support two-way traffic and parking on one side.
Okay, thank you.
Alder Decker?
Yes, well, this is in my neighborhood. In fact, one of the streets is mine, so. Last year when they did this on 24th Street, it worked quite well, actually. You're limited to it's only gonna be local traffic. It's gonna be basically the people that live on those streets, because the people aren't gonna be going down to Indiana Avenue, because Indiana Avenue is gonna be under construction. That's the whole point of this, is so that people can go back and forth, can get from their houses and not have to go down to Indiana Avenue. They can just go right up to Georgia and back and forth. It's just basically gonna be local traffic, so.
Thanks, Alder Decker. It's everyone's favorite time of the year. It's construction season and detours. So, seeing no more buzzes, this is a roll call vote.
8 ayes.
That's approved. Items 36, 37, 38 will be referred to the Public Works Committee. Next, item 39, other matters authorized by law. City Attorney.
This is an RO by the city clerk submitting various license applications.
And that will be referred to the Licensing Hearing and Public Safety Committee. We've exhausted the agenda. Alder Decker,
I move to adjourn.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? We're adjourned at 6:31.